those circumstances, then, following the game against Tennessee today, first, opening statement from head coach Shea Ralph, please.
First of all, I'm glad for our team that we're continuing to get better. You know, today we lost. We lost the game. We did not win the game. And we know that. We know that there's things that we have to improve on to be able to win a game down the stretch. But one of the things I think that is becoming clear is that we're going to fight and we're going to compete. I'm really proud of my team because we've been through a lot this year. The players that are here that are competing day in and day out have just completely bought in. And they have a belief in our program that extends beyond the day-to-day. But, you know, as a coach, the only thing you can hope for is that your players believe and trust in you 100%, that they give you your full effort. And, you know, I got to say, I've coached a lot of really good teams and a lot of really good players, but I love coming to work every day and getting ready and getting better with this team because I think we can do something really special. And I know that, I hope that I'm impacting their lives and their game as much as they're impacting me. It's been a fun year, full of ups and downs, and I just can't wait to get back to work on Tuesday to get better at some of these things. So down the stretch against a team like Tennessee, because there's a lot of them in the SEC that we're in position to win the next game we play.
All right, so on your left is Kaija Smith, on your right, Sasha Washington. Questions for the student athletes.
Kaija, what do you think was the key to that fourth quarter run that you had?
Honestly, like our resiliency that we showed, like the fight that we had and just staying together was the main key that we take in any game that we go into. So for that fourth quarter, I mean, that's what we did. And it's just some things we just need to tighten up on because going against a team like that, we can't really make much mistakes. But, you know, just continue to get better each and every day.
Sasha, you know, what was the key for you in the post against, you know, a really big team that has a lot of really big players?
Just coming into this game knowing that I would be able to make my moves, you know, and if there was a double team, be able to kick it back out to the guards, repost. So just being patient in there, really, and taking my time.
Kaija, what was the key for you to get some of those, you know, open looks at the basket?
Our coaches have always told me that, you know, they know I'm not a secret anymore. So, like, right now for me, it's just screening for my teammates, setting good screens, and that way, trying to get open that way. And then when going to the rim, I mean, it's much taller players that we're going against. So using my pull-up or just kicking out to my teammates for open shots.
Sasha, you know, did anything feel different about this matchup against Tennessee versus the two that you had last year?
I think it just shows growth, honestly. Everything we've been through, everything that I've been through, I think that today, like, the fight, the energy, everything around it felt good. It felt good to be in that environment.
Sasha, I know it's not easy to go 0-4 in SEC, but you guys were very close, outscored them in the fourth quarter. I guess how motivating is that for you guys to know that you're so close to, you know, getting those SEC wins?
Just never giving up. We know we'll get there, but just never giving up and keep going and going and going. It doesn't matter who we play. We want to fight every night.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right, ladies, thank you. You're good to
Thank
go.
you. Let's go. Good job.
All right.
This crumpling paper thing. I don't know why I do this, but something I'm learning about myself.
Questions for Coach Ralph?
Yeah, so I guess what did you see as being the key to the run in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think Kaija had a good answer, resiliency, but it was more technical than that. So I wanted them to continue to attack, right? So when we're open, we have to take those shots if they're high percentage shots that we can make. So we got a couple of open threes, and when we started attacking and not expecting foul calls, because I think at this point they understand that, you know, it doesn't matter. We really can't control that. But we can still attack and take a high percentage shot. That's not necessarily a floater or a shot into the shoulders of a 6'5" guy. But when we attacked and we were able to get foul calls and then suck in the defense, we were also getting some kickouts, getting some offensive rebounds because we were making the defense shift. I think we have to have a better balance of inside-outside. And I think that's why we're progressively getting better because Sasha's progressively getting better. It's not even just her effort in the post, it's her angles. It's how deep she buries people. It's her going after balls when they tip them instead of just watching it roll out of bounds. It's that discipline and focus to do it the right way, not to just do it, right? And I think that's going to be really important for this team because there's things like we've just talked about. Yes, they're way bigger than us. Yes, they're way more athletic. They have players that have more whatever you want to say to their names. But that doesn't mean anything as it relates to a basketball game. That's why you play the game. So if we can come out and be completely disciplined and focus in terms of like our accountability, our communication, our effort, those things that we can do day in and day out, whether or not we make 9 threes or 0, then I feel like we can be competitive in any game that we play. If we don't do that, then the talent will overwhelm us at some point. The talent, the size will overwhelm us. So I know that and understand that about this team. I've just been trying to get them to see it. And, we do it for a short period of time, and then we'll relax for 3 minutes, and it's a 15-0 run. And we just can't do that. So I'm really happy for them today, even though we lost a game, for them to see that when you play like that, when you focus on winning each possession with the things you can control, when you commit to that, you can compete with anyone.
Having Marnell and Ryan on the court in the fourth quarter with 4 fouls, did you ever consider taking them out? And, what did you see from them being able to, contribute to the offense without, Ryan got her 5th at the very end?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I think I wasn't playing for the long game. I thought that our momentum and the way we were in sync on the court was going really well, and I was willing to take that risk. What Ryan and Marnell do for us is stretch the floor. So Kaija can attack so we can get the ball into Sasha. It's difficult when you don't, playing Ryan at the 4 has been advantageous for us as she becomes more comfortable at that position because she stretches the floor. So they have to defend her out there, which opens up the lane. Same with Marnell. So when you have people on the floor that are 3-point threats against a team like that where they can't just sit in the lane, then it gives us more of that balance that I was talking about earlier, inside, outside.
And what is the status for Amori Williams?
So right now, Amari Williams, we're working through a couple of things. I'll be ready to make a statement on that in a couple of days, but she's been dismissed from the team, and then she'll continue to go to school here, and then like I said, we're working through it right now. But she'll continue to go to school here in the second semester so that she can get into the portal during that window. But right now, that's her status. She won't be with the team from now on.
So how do you approach these SEC games knowing that you only have 8 players and, there's these teams have not only, all the talent, but just more bodies in general?
I don't talk about it. What's the point of, we don't really focus on it because we don't have any control over it. This is what we have. And luckily, I played somewhere and I had some experience as an assistant coach where we won multiple championships and we played like 6 kids. So that's a little different based on for a bunch of different reasons. But I know what it looks like. I've been able to be involved in what does it look like for us to practice to be able to compete at a high level. How do we need to take care of our bodies? Nutrition is super important. Focusing on, hey, most of the time we only play 8 kids anyway, right, in basketball. We just have to be really smart and not shoot ourselves in the foot, put ourselves in trouble with fouls and that kind of thing. And then we can be creative with how we play defensively, depending on each team. That's our job as coaches. But all I need from my players is to show up ready to fight and compete. We have enough. We have enough people. So we never talk about those things because out of our control. We have exactly what we need to be competitive in this league.
Did you see a difference between the game today and the 2 matchups with Tennessee last season?
I did. I don't even know if I can like verbalize exactly what it felt different to me. Coaching my team felt different. In the huddles, they're locked in. It felt different. And I think, I don't know if you can put that description into words, but what it feels like to me is Sasha probably said the best way. It's growth. Mm-hmm. I feel like I can start to feel and see the shift in those moments of adversity. Mm-hmm. Because when you don't have that, it kind of all falls apart. When your back is against a wall. And now we're showing when our back is against a wall that we're starting to fully buy in. And I can only say that to me, while we've lost all 3 of those games, today felt different.
Yeah. having two players who were transfers, like Kaija and Marnell, play such a big role in the offense and such a big role on the team, you know, what does that kind of say about them and about, you know, what you guys did in the portal this off season?
Man, you know, we had, it was going to look a lot different in our minds. You know, we were excited. But then to have two fifth-year guards, which we so desperately needed when the injuries and all those things happened. And then they just stepped in and embraced that role. It wasn't, exactly what it looked like or they thought it was going to look like when they signed up to play here. But I can't say enough about how those kids have adapted to the environment, how much they brought to our team on and off the court. They're a pleasure to have. I mean, the only thing I would say is that I wish I had them for more than a year. But the portal is a tricky thing. You can get yourself into trouble. It happens really quickly. I don't know that we could have gotten two better people. Obviously, as players, you can see what they bring, but they're two exceptional young women. I'm really, really happy that they're here and that I get to coach them for the year.
Thank you, Coach.
You can, yeah.
So Jordan Herson didn't have her best scoring night, but 8 assists, and she's put up high assists when she isn't scoring well. I guess from the other side, what can you say about her playmaking abilities, and do you see a difference in her play from this year to last?
Definitely. She's continuing to get better. And if she shares the ball like she did today, she's going to be a problem, right, defensively for anyone, because she's a big guard that can score, that can get her own shot. And there's a couple of different ways you can play players like that. But when they become high IQ basketball players and learn how to share the ball with their teammates, it's almost impossible to defend. So as she continues to get better throughout the year, the more she does that and the more she scores at 3 levels, she could be, exceptional. But it was, it was definitely evident to me in just watching film that she's improved from last year to this year.
Last question.
So, Coach, coming in tonight, today, you ran that zone defense. Was that something you saw before today on film that worked against Tennessee, or can you give your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think it just depends, for us, what we do is what we do. But obviously, while you're looking at teams, for us to be successful, I think we have to be a little bit creative with the lack of players. And we've been playing some man-to-man and gotten ourselves in foul trouble early on. So I felt like today, with how their team is presently constructed and how ours is presently constructed, that zone would be a good look. My concern was rebounding. But honestly, it's a concern no matter what defense we're in. So I felt like our kids really stuck to the game plan, and the rebounds were what killed us. We had a couple of hiccups, but that we were able to adjust in timeouts, and that was growth. Like being able to go into a timeout and talk through something that had just happened and see them execute was great. It's going to be something we're going to have to do a little bit more of. The way it looks, I don't know. But being able to stay out of foul trouble is really important, especially for my post players. So we have to figure out creatively what that looks like as we talk defensive strategy throughout the rest of the SEC conference play.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you guys.